Need a distraction? Something to enhance the mood? Or peculiar alternate reality concepts? Well, we recommend giving us a visit with the link on screen for your own uncensored creative arts pieces. Give in to the temptations. Become inspired without tags. $1. Custom offers $2. Exclusive ownership for whatever you request. $50. Waiting period is 24 to 48 hours. Cheers.
Okay, this issue of Sensation Comics number 11, it started off interesting, but it kind of ended not on the high level that I thought it would. So the story starts off with Diana is missing. Colonel Darnell is wondering what's going on. Steve is not waking up. Etta Candy and Wonder Woman, they're phoned to. They're not waking up. They're sleeping in their respective rooms. They bring all three of them to the hospital. It turns out that in this timeline, in these stories, in this universe, once you go to sleep, your astral self can travel to any planet, apparently. So Queen Desira from the previous Wonder Woman appearance. So therefore, if you are someone that's reading Sensation Comics only, which I think that a lot of people will be doing, since this is where Wonder Woman appears in constantly from the issue number 1. If you are just reading Sensation Comics, you are not going to get who the hell Queen Desira was, because she appeared in the All-Star Comics issue before this one. And this is also why I'm glad that I'm actually reading in order based on the on-sale date, because if I skipped ahead, I would either be spoiled or I wouldn't know what the hell is going on exactly. But anyway, she was able to contact Diana through the magnetic airing, so I'm guessing that that's just how it works. She's just going to be able to be like a voice to Diana from afar. But that is also kind of a redundant ability that she has given Wonder Woman, because while, yes, you're able to contact her in a more timely manner with the airings, the fact that you can reach out to her when she sleeps, you can have full-on conversations with her astral self. There's not really much. I don't really see I don't really see the necessity of giving Diana that ability, because you can talk to her anyway if she goes to sleep, when she goes to sleep, that is. But anyway, there's trouble on a planet called Eros, and in this planet, prisoners get more enjoyment than persons who are free. It's basically flipped, where you're gonna be sentenced to freedom as opposed to being imprisoned. Most of the times they want to stay in prison rather than go free. So it's like you get to it's kind of like a reverse in our reality, but at the same time, it's maybe not really. I think that the inspiration behind this was that, I don't know what was going on in the 40s, but nowadays, some folks say that prisoners are basically living free. They have free food. They don't have to worry about anything. They don't have to worry about putting up with a boss or co-workers or employees or whatever. They're just living free inside of the prison. So if you minus the prisons that are if you minus the crimes that are truly brutal or whatever, and the criminals that are like top tier scums, if you take those out and look at all the others, they're just living free in there. So I think that this concept is just taking that idea and exaggerating it to that point where if you don't want to go free because you don't want to put up with all of the crap that goes on with being free. So they rather be in prison. But to make a long story short here, a really gifted girl, a genius. In fact, I think that along with the Baroness, I think that this is the smartest character that I have seen thus far. She invented a lot of stuff as a kid growing up in prison. And she because of how competent she was in creating, various weapons. She created this paralysis ray gun and other stuff because of how competent she was and how respected she was. They even had this they had this thing called man fishing where you threw a rod, caught a guy. It's like fishing, but they're catching men in there. But she did not want to go free. She was sentenced to go out and rule a part of the planet. She didn't want to go. She'd rather stay in prison. Over time, she got fed up dealing with other people's problems. So she kind of let things fall out of hand, and she eventually wanted to go back to prison. But here's the thing, and she did this. She submitted to being a prisoner after Wonder Woman and Steve and Etta, after they were led here by Queen Desiree, for by the way. But after the girl Rebla, after she outsmarted Wonder Woman and the others and had everyone captured, she made herself a prisoner, but she did it to the men. And no, the very people that she put in power, they're like, hey, you're not gonna have, everything is different now. It's now being run like an actual prison. So she started to regret that, hey, the fact that she wanted to just abandon her position of power to give these incompetent guys, it was a disgrace. So the ruler of the planet, Maria, I'm guessing it's Mariah, spelled with a Y, maybe. She eventually sentenced Rebla back to prison because she was indeed unfit to rule. I'm not sure what lesson Rebla would learn there, because she wanted to go back to prison. She did see the error of her ways by submitting to the men, but you're putting her back in prison now. So I don't know if they're gonna try and teach her a better way, mentally, to show that, hey, we need you to actually rule because you're the best person to rule. I don't know if that's what they're gonna be doing, or they're just gonna say, okay, you're just gonna stay in prison for as long as you want to stay because you're clearly not fit for the outside. So I don't know if that's what that was about. But anyway, yeah, that was the issue. Yeah. And the reason why I said that it started off interesting and then it didn't really go anywhere, apart from what I just talked about, when they were giving us Rebela's backstory and how she grew up and all of the interesting stuff with all of the man fishing and all that, I thought that it would have gone. I thought that it would just be like, I would have to make like a whole separate video on how I personally would improve on that storyline, but I just felt like it started off interesting, started off like it was gonna go all the way up to a 10-point scale, and then it kind of just didn't really take off. Yeah. Anyway, that's it.